Okay, so I'm trying to think of a way to describe my feelings towards Halloween Ends. And my best way is this is like a DreamWorks lamp or whatever, where it's like bouncing before an animated movie starts. Well, I wish that, the DreamWorks lamp could, start bouncing and then just squash the existence of Halloween Ends. And it starts, like movie starts where it just doesn't exist because this movie was. When I watched Halloween Kills, and this is actually like we're nearing the 1 year anniversary of my last Halloween Kills review, which is kind of crazy. It's already been a year. When I watched Halloween Kills, I didn't enjoy it that much. And if you rewatch my last review, I make it clear that even though I didn't enjoy it, I still could see myself rewatching it in the future. Because I did enjoy how they showed how he got caught, that night of Halloween 1978. And how they captured the feel of the 1978 movie. But Halloween Ends is one of those movies where it's just bad, and I have no desire to really rewatch it at all, like in the years to come. The movie starts out, and this is going to be a spoiler review right off the bat. If you want the non-spoilers, it's bad. I already went into this movie with the bar set very low, and I thought, if it's bad, I won't be mad because, I went into it expecting it to be. But this movie reaches the point of it being so disappointing, and so bad that I'm mad. Do you know the skill that takes? Like, when I have the bar set low and I'm still mad after watching it, my non-spoiler review is the movie's bad. That's all I have to say. And now I'm going to get into the spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, I would recommend not to see it. But if you want to see the spoiler section, then go watch it. I promise you'll probably regret it. Okay, so spoilers. The movie starts off with introducing a whole new character, a man named Corey Cunningham, and this is in the synopsis of the movie. I knew this was coming. Everyone did if you read, what the movie was going to be about. And he just accidentally kills this little kid that he's babysitting, little douchebag. I mean, I hate how unlikable some of these characters are in this trilogy. I mean, this kid is like a little devil, and he locks Corey in this attic, and, they're like 3 stories up. The kid's like super rich, his parents are, and, Corey's trying to get out. He's locked in. He kicks the door. Kid falls over the frickin' railing, splatters all over. It looks like Corey killed the little kid on purpose. And, the parents are like, oh my God, look what you've done. And the funniest part about this scene is this is the only time in the entirety of the movie that we hear the Halloween theme. When they're introducing Halloween Ends with the title and, the classic pumpkin presentation, which was really cool. That was one thing that was really cool. I loved how they did the new presentation with the pumpkin as they, showed directed by David Gordon Green and stuff. And so right off the bat, this movie just didn't feel like a Halloween movie, at all. It just felt like they really ripped themselves into a corner. And this movie focuses so much on this Corey Cunningham guy. And it just starts off with him, working his job. He works at this, Auto Haven place or, auto shop with, where they shred metal and stuff. And that plays a big factor later in the movie. And the whole town of Haddonfield kind of looks at him as if he's, some devil. He did it on purpose. And he's introduced to Laurie Strode. This is where Laurie Strode comes in when these kids, these high school douchebags, okay? Corey Cunningham is 20 years old, okay, in this movie. And these freshmen in high school douchebags start picking on him because he won't buy them beer, okay? He's just letting these 4 little high school douchebags bully him. And, he gets thrown to the ground, glass, shatters glass, and it cuts his hand. And then Laurie comes in and saves him. And it's oh, yeah. And that's when Laurie introduces Corey to Allison, her granddaughter, when he's getting patched up. The blood that he got when he cut his hand on glass. And this movie tries so hard to ship this, love story between Allison and Corey. I did not go into this movie trying to watch some love romance, okay? I'm very open-minded about that with majority of movies, whether it's action or, or maybe a superhero movie with a love interest. Dude, Halloween is kills. Halloween is suspense. I don't come into there for the romance bullshit. And in the dialogue between these two, it's just they didn't work good together, in my opinion. I think Andy Matichak, who plays Allison, is a great actor, and I think Corey was all right, the guy who played Corey. But they just did not mesh well together. I didn't buy their whole, relationship at all. So about halfway through the movie, we are 50 minutes in and we haven't seen Michael Myers. That's a disgrace, first of all. Like, what the fuck? I couldn't believe that, actually, when I was watching, and I'm like, where is Michael? Like, I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and it just keeps showing Corey and him going to a dance party with Allison. It's like we haven't even entered October 31st in the movie. Like, and so Michael finally is introduced when Corey, of course, he runs into the high school douchebags again, and they throw him over a ledge, and the ledge of this little thing they throw him over just so happens to be the entrance of the sewer that Michael is hiding in. And Michael drags Corey, you know, when he's on the ground, like out, you know, when he's on the ground passed out, he drags him into the sewer. And for some reason, Michael Myers decides not to kill Corey. Michael Myers decides to spare Corey Cunningham's life. This just felt like a joke, because the past 2 movies we've watched, they describe Michael as the personification of evil, no empathy, no remorse, no nothing. It doesn't matter who you are, you will die. He won't spare your... And yeah, he lets Corey live. And not only that, Corey is like kind of bitches Michael. Like, it's pathetic. Michael Myers, he goes from being this in 2018, and I know it's 4 years later, he goes from being this absolute Terminator badass to an old man that can hardly stand up. And I know what they're trying to do before, you know, if you're watching this review, oh, he has to kill people, you know, he has to regain energy. He does later. Even when he regains energy after killing someone, he's still like a brittle-ass old man. He loses to Laurie very, very easily, in my opinion, when you compare him to how good he was in Halloween Kills, how, like, relentless he was. He goes out super easy against Laurie Strode in the final moments of this movie. So, yeah, pretty much they have this whole idea where Corey ends up leading one of Allison's dating prospects into the tunnel, and he's like, teach me to kill Michael, and Michael fucking kills the guy in front of Corey. It's ridiculous. It's like some Frankenstein shit where, like, Corey, it felt like Corey was the creator of Michael. I don't have the words to describe what the hell they were thinking with the direction of this movie. And I'm not sitting here and saying I won't ever rewatch it. It's just a movie I might watch once every 5 years. I just don't have any desire. It's right below with Halloween Resurrection and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. As top 3 worst in the franchise, in my opinion. You know, we're about middle of the movie, and finally, we have a few kills. Corey and Michael finally leave the sewer, because Michael kills, he regains some energy, and they go kill the doctor who Allison works with, Allison's boss, this doctor guy. They kill him, and they kill his girlfriend. You know, Corey's like, has this stupid scarecrow mask, and, you know, he's stabbing at the super brutal. Like I said, I don't care about all the gory blood. Halloween was never supposed to be about all this gore and bullshit. Like, it's supposed to be about suspense, yet that was thrown out the window immediately in Halloween 2018. It's one of my complaints about Halloween 2018, even though Halloween 2018 was a great movie for a great sequel. That's always been a big problem with this trilogy, is it's just so gruesome. Yeah, but, you know, he's stabbing at his neck, blood, everything. And then, you know, they're really starting to dive into Corey being this just monster. You know, he's killing people, no remorse. You know, he's acting like Michael Myers. And, you know, he ends up killing the fucking douchebag high school kids at his job place. For some reason, I forget why they were there. I think they follow him there because he, like, wrote Psycho on the high school jock's car, and they follow him. And yeah, Corey runs them all over, which I'm actually glad I hated those people. That's another thing. I don't know why in horror movies there are just so many dickheads, like so many douchebags. No one acts like the way these high schoolers acted. Corey Cunningham's like 23, and these high school kids are like, have the audacity to start bullying him and shit. That would never happen. No high schooler would have the balls to do that, and no 23-year-old or however old Corey is would put up with that bullshit. So that's a gripe, but it's whatever. Corey ends up killing them. Then he kills this radio DJ. I'm sorry, I'm really fast forwarding here, guys, because the main shit happens at the end of the final 20 minutes of this film. The worst part of this whole movie, in my opinion, is he goes into the sewer back where Michael is. Michael's just fucking standing there like a fucking. I mean, this is Michael, like just standing there like he's in like a character selection screen in a video game. Like, what the hell, bro? And Corey, like, pushes Michael down, and they're having a fucking wrestling match, bro. I'm not kidding. Like, I was watching this movie, I'm like, dude, this is not the Michael Myers that was shot 85 times against a mob and then got back up and just destroyed them all. This is not the same Michael Myers. Why are they going in this direction? Yeah, Corey just steals the mask from Michael. Like Michael's just some old fuck hobo behind the mask. Like no supernatural element to him at all. Even after Michael killed somebody, he's supposed to be regained again. But no, Corey just steals the mask easily from him. Absolutely bitches Michael, which is just so disrespectful to Michael's character in this timeline. So yeah, then Corey tries to be Michael, and he's killing all these people with the mask. I forgot this all happened before he kills the high schoolers and the radio guy. And then the final moments of this movie, it's pretty much Laurie faking a suicide, which lures Corey Cunningham to Laurie. Laurie shoots Corey Cunningham. Corey dies. He impales himself in the neck. He's somehow still living. Laurie pulls the knife out of him, and Allison looks at her like, "Oh my god!" Walks in because she was not home. Walks in and she's like, "You killed Corey! Oh my god!" Because for some reason Laurie pulls the knife out of Corey, and it looks like But if Allison took 1 second, she'd realize A, Michael Myers' fucking mask is on the floor, and B, Corey is in coveralls. Corey was trying to be Michael Myers. If Allison had any observation skills in this writing, not blaming Annie Matichak, she did great for what she was working with. Now, Corey dies pretty much when Michael somehow just knows where Corey is. The real Michael, when Laurie's upstairs after killing Corey, and Allison leaving, not even calling the police, she just leaves. Sorry guys, I swallowed her or something. And then there's a final showdown between Laurie and the Shape. Laurie kills him super easy. Hardly any bit of a fight is even put up by Michael when you compare him to Halloween Kills in Halloween 2018, to be honest, with his strength. She keeps stabbing him. It's so gross with the whole cutting and shit. They're cutting him, and her and Allison, and Laurie somehow lives, even though she gets a sewing needle stabbed in her by Michael Myers. She somehow lives. She's not even affected by that. She somehow doesn't get cut up by the dispenser, her kitchen dispenser, sink dispenser, even though her whole freaking hand was in it. I don't know, just plot armor that made no sense. Michael Myers dies. They break his arm, and they cut him, they slit his neck, all that bullshit. And then Hawkins comes in, the police officer from Halloween Kills. I thought he'd have a huge part in this movie. Hardly in it. They put him on top of the fucking roof of one of their cars, and the whole town of Haddonfield instantly knows Michael is dead somehow. And they're it's like a funeral service procession. All these cars are just following them. They're taking Michael to the junkyard. They're all lifting him up. It's like Spider-Man 2, the train scene where they're lifting him up. They throw him in the shredder. And that's pretty much the movie. Then Allison, they end the movie with Allison going off, moving from Haddonfield, Laurie going with Hawkins to Paris or something. And that's the movie. I got nothing more to say. I didn't want to get too in-depth. I didn't want to get too organized. I'm disappointed. They writ themselves into the corner the moment that they said it was going to be a 4-year gap. And, that's all I have to say for this movie. I hate being super negative, but the more I've thought about this, I was a little more accepting of it right after watching it. I was like, all right, it's fine. They tried doing something different. But as I've thought about it, it was not done right, and it was just a huge disgrace to Michael Myers as a character. He certainly dies, but, in a very shit movie. They should have ended this series in Halloween 2018. No follow-ups to 2018. It should have been Halloween 2018. Done. That should have been the Blumhouse timeline, but it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. It is your boy Tyler, and I'm out. Peace.